let's get into this.
Yes.
So, in honor of Black History Month, and also the James Gunn DC slate, and characters I'd like to see done in live action, Static is our character profile this week. Now, some people may recognize Static from the cartoon from my childhood and Hori's young adulthood, called Static Shock.
I don't remember.
Okay, so a quick preface. Static was not, as far as I know, originally a DC character, and either the company or the character got bought by DC down the line.
Oh, okay.
And of course, there's been like 2 universe reboots since then. So this is his origin as it is now, and some things I believe have been slightly tweaked just so it doesn't
Clash. Oh.
Yeah, it's still pretty coherent. I think it's pretty close to the original still.
Okay.
But if anyone who read the original comics is like, well, that's wrong, that is probably why. Anyway, Static, aka Virgil Hawkins, first appeared in Static #1 in June '93. Grand scheme of the world, relatively young character.
Oh, then I'm relatively young.
He was born in Paris Island, Dakota City, in an area surrounded by gang violence. However, Virgil and his family worked really hard to avoid falling into that way of life. Despite keeping his head down and focusing on his studies, he was relentlessly bullied. And this was in large part due to not only his intelligence, but his love of comic books, role-playing games, and science fiction. And his friendship group was the exact same. They all got bullied for being nerds, essentially. I'm sure we can all kind of sympathize. It's probably the right phrase.
Yes.
However, after a particularly brutal assault at the hands of his main bully, when he was 15, he was given a gun to deal with his bully. He followed his bully down to the docks to get rid of him. But he decided that this was not the way to deal with his problem, and he was going to rise above it and walk away.
Smart man.
As he was leaving, a police raid on the docks took place, and they were using a new kind of tear gas that was supposed to like mark anyone, so that if anyone did get away, they would be marked and then easy to prove they were there later. However, this tear gas kind of wasn't thoroughly tested, and the incident became known as the Big Bang. And basically, it caused one of 2 things to happen to everyone who was affected by the gas. They either died or they mutated. In this sense, Virgil got lucky, and he mutated, and it gave him a variety of electromagnetic powers.
Interesting.
This newfound power, along with his love of comics and sense of right and wrong, is what led him to becoming a hero. He's got a pretty cool power set, I'm going to be honest. So he can levitate using electrical wavelengths to basically get the material to float, and he can stand on it, kind of like a snowboard, skateboard type thing.
I get you.
He can also tune into wavelengths so that he can make phone calls and listen to radios without needing a device.
Nice.
He has very high mental resistance to psychological attacks, hypnosis, etc.
Makes sense.
Due to his power of producing electricity and harnessing electricity, his brain just operates at a level that can't really be easily interfered with. He also has mechakinesis, which basically allows him to control electronic devices with just a touch, even if they aren't plugged in, because he can give them the power they need. And then more of his combat-focused stuff, he can create balls of lightning and the general kind of how you would depict using electricity offensively. He does have a couple of major weaknesses, though. Other people who got electrical powers from the Big Bang can kind of fuck him up.
Oh.
So, like, if he got tased, it wouldn't affect him. But if they shocked him with electricity, it's going to fucking hurt.
Okay.
And anything that's naturally insulated against electricity is pretty fucking annoying for him.
So wear a rubber suit.
Yeah, put him in a metal cage. He can like get the metal to let him out. Put him in a wooden crate, not as easy.
Got you.
Type dealio. Static's a very cool character in my opinion. He's worked with the Teen Titans. Those who remember watching Justice League Unlimited in the 2000s probably remember him, as well as him having his own show called Static Shock. He's a very cool character, and he seems just quirky enough that James Gunn could have some fun with him.
I can see what you mean by that.
But yeah,
cool.
That's his
Interesting person.
Static. Yeah. Very, very cool guy, and I'd like to see a bit of him in live action.
Could have some fun with that as well. Definitely.
Now,